but the favorite approach is through the air. And it is through a combination of brains and brawn, skill and courage that 4 teams have made it to college basketball's pinnacle. Seton Hall is the surprise entrant. This is their first Final Four appearance. The Fighting Illini of Illinois have not lost with Kendall Gill in their lineup this season. And Kendall is in their backcourt today. Then there are the Michigan Wolverines, trying to win a national championship as well as a permanent job for their interim coach. For Duke and its fans, this is their 3rd Final Four appearance in the last 4 years. And for them, just being here is not enough. The Blue Devils lost in the last minute to Louisville in the 1986 national championship game.
Davis Ferry. Ball takes the shot and misfired, but Ellison was there. The biggest rebound of this championship game.
Indeed, the Final Four throughout the 1980s has been full of last-minute heroes and heartbreak.
Brown. Look for Sleepy Floyd. Look. Oh, he threw it to the wrong man. He threw it to Worthy. It's over. It's over. It's down to 7 seconds.
You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, it's a long way. He's still there.
They won it. On the dunk.
Smart takes the shot. Indiana wins the championship. Keith Smart is the hero.
Who will emerge as Final Four heroes in Seattle? Well, we'll know soon enough.
Hello, I'm Nicky Horn, and welcome to our 2nd game from this year's NCAA Championship. We've reached the semi-final stage of this year's competition, and today's game between Duke and Seton Hall is being beamed across America and also live to Australia, largely through the exploits of one man, Seton Hall's Andrew Gaze. He's one of the outstanding discoveries of the year. Already an Australian international, he's the toast of New Jersey, thanks to his outstanding three-point shooting. But Duke also have a major star in the shape of Danny Ferry, who's taken his team to the Final Four 3 times, but never won the coveted championship. He leads the Duke Blue Devils, who today will play in white with Seton Hall in blue. A quick reminder of the scoring. You get 2 points for a shot inside the semicircle and 3 for a long-range effort from outside. A free throw awarded for a foul scores 1 point. Well, now let's join Frank Fallon, the voice of the Final Four, for the introduction of the teams.
And now let's meet the starting lineups. For Seton Hall, at forward, a 6'7" junior from Melbourne, Australia, number 10, Andrew Gaze. For Duke, at forward, a 6'5" junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, number 21, Robert Brickey. For Seton Hall, at forward, a 6'8" senior from New York, number 24, Darrell Walker. For Duke, at forward, a 6'10" senior from Bowie, Maryland, number 35, Danny Ferry. For Seton Hall, at center, a 6'8" senior from Canovedas, Puerto Rico, number 25, Ramon Ramos. For Duke, at center, a 6'10" freshman from Angola, New York, number 32, Christian Laettner. For Seton Hall, at guard, a 6'1" senior from Brooklyn, New York, number 15, Gerald Green. For Duke, at guard, a 6'4" junior from University Park, Illinois, number 3, Phil Henderson. For Seton Hall, at guard, a 6'3" senior from the Bronx, New York, number 23, John Morton. And for Duke, at guard, a 6'3" senior from Mercer Island, Washington, number 14, Quinn Snyder. And introducing the head coaches, for Seton Hall in his 7th season, P.J. Carlesimo. For Duke in this 9th season, Mike Krzyzewski.
The Duke Blue Devils suffered an early setback when their offensive star, Robert Brickey, was taken to the locker room after a collision with Gerald Green of Seton Hall. But they lead 11-6 as we join Brent Musburger and Billy Packer.
So at the Kingdome in Seattle, it is game 1 of our national semifinal here this afternoon, and this one is a struggle. Neither team shooting well. With Billy Packer, I'm Brent Musburger. It's 11-6, Duke over Seton Hall. Illinois and Michigan to play the second one.
Set play, trying to get a solid screen for Gaze to get off his jumper.
Avent missing. Pulled away by Laettner.
Oh, Duke's had the break a couple of times. Good pass inside, tough hands.
Another turnover. And he turned it over on the dribble.
You know, Brent, sometimes statistics in sports lie, but in this particular case, the fact that both of these teams have defensively shut other people down in this tournament is something we're seeing today. The defense is controlling the offense. There has not been an easy shot on either end of the floor. Ferry's skill level may be the thing that could be the difference.
Draws a bead that time, Billy, giving him 6 points.
Without Ramos, no down inside game. Something Seton Hall really needs to get off the snide here.
Here's Green. Laettner wrestling it away. Kubek on the drive for Duke.
Smart play, no place to go. You get a sense Ferry's ready to explode offensively. Great block!
Avent coming up on it.
Weak side help again, just like Abdelnabi's block came all the way across the lane.
Time remaining first half. And they have turned it over for the 6th time. Let's take a look at this block.
Right,
Avent running over from the weak side, able to get up and deflect it away.
There was a good fronting defense on Ferry, so the lob was available, but then there was weak side help coming over from Gaze, and then Avent all the way across the lane.
And France Volsi, number 30. Just got a glimpse of him. He checks in for P.J. Carlesimo, trying to find the combination. Henderson gets it to Falls, and Duke pulling away in the early going. It is 15-6, 11:50.
Looking for Gaze for a three-point shot coming up.
Gaze off the dribble, still won't fall, and Laettner away with it. Snyder quickly with a lead pass up here. Davis back to Ferry off a beautiful fake.
Well, Brent, what's so tough in guarding Danny Ferry at 6'10"? PJ's got to be thinking timeout here shortly. He's going to take one now. Is the fact that Ferry can shoot the perimeter shot or go for the short range.
From the Duke fans, but he was limping slightly as he left the Duke locker room. Mike Krzyzewski's team leading 17-6. Volsi underneath with the easiest bucket Seton Hall's had so far. Seton Hall only 2 for 11 from the field. Duke 5 for 13.
Good inside screening by Laettner and Ferry, trying to get something going down low.
Ramos with a hand on the ball, knocking it out of bounds. Ramos doesn't have the height of an NBA prospect, but I'll tell you what great bulk and the way he uses it. 255 pounds. He's an accounting major at Seton Hall. Very intelligent young man, a delight to talk to. Here is Ferry coming up with a jump shot over the top, using the glass, and he has now scored 10 points here in the first half. What you'd expect of the All-American.
Ramos with good position. They're just not getting the ball down in low to Ramos. They've got to get him in the offensive action.
Here is Morton looking for a seam, anything to get it on the inside. Ramos muscling his way in, and they have turned it over on a 3-second violation.
Returns to the lineup, replacing Brian Davis.
Smith returning, and Brian Davis sits down for the Blue Devils.
But the key problem right now for P.J. Carlesimo is to establish that inside attack with Ramos. He's coming off a game against UNLV where he did not play well, and they've got to get him in the offense early on before too many minutes go by.
Dropping it in on the inside, and there was a holding call going against Seton Hall, and that is the first on Volsi.
You can see what the strategy defensively is by P.J. Carlesimo. Front Danny Ferry down and low and get weak side help. That time they got caught.
Billy, we get word from the Duke bench that Bricky did suffer the injury going in underneath the basket in that collision when he was off balance and fell. However, when he came down here, he was hit and it aggravated.
I get you. Well, he's wincing over there. I watched him when he came out. I mean, it doesn't look like he's ready to go back in, do any high flying.
Ferry off to a solid start. It's a 21-8 lead. Ramos drops it into Volsey, and Laettner was there defensively. Gaze can't come away with anything. The battle continues underneath.
Oh, good hand!
And here comes Snyder in the middle. Giving it back to Henderson. And a follow by the Blue Devils.
And Brent, what made that play was Christian Laettner went to the floor at 6'10", and with those incredible soft hands of his, was able to get it out of the pack. Sensational play.
Both teams started slowly, but the Blue Devils found their game quicker. Now it's Gaze, and he continues to struggle. Smith hands to Laettner.
Gaze will normally hit that shot. Duke switched on that play, let him wide open from 3. See a double low now by Duke University. Ferry wanted that ball. He had Volsey right on his hip.
Laettner steps out. Ramos there with him. Cross to Smith with good outside range for a big man. He buries the 3.
Percentage-wise, the best three-point shooter on the team, a guy who never even took three-point shots before this year.
PJ Carlesimo will use another timeout. He's down 26-8. Well, everything has gone Duke's way except the injury suffered by Bricky. Seton Hall just can't buy a hoop. 2 of 14, trailing 26-8. Time remaining here in the first half. And Ferry off to a solid start here. They punch it in low to Ramos, and he continues to miss. Comes back with an offensive rebound, score it, and we're going to put Ramos on the free throw line.
Brent, the key to their game, getting Ramos down in low. He's got that big, strong body. He comes up very well even on missed shots, as he did there, because of his good hands. See the play down inside. He misses the first, but watch how well he bounces to get that second one. Powerful hands inside, goes right back up, puts it in, has a chance for three-point play here.
We had a picture of Laettner returning because that was the 3rd foul picked up by Abdelnaby. So Abdelnaby seated on Coach K's bench right now. Ramos nails the three-pointer down, and it's a
good press, nobody open.
The press there, and they force the turnover. Walker brings his jump shot down.
They're not guarding the man throwing the ball in bounds, and that's why there was an extra defender.
The lead is 13. 5 quick points by the Hall. Looking for Laettner in deep, knocked away and out of bounds.
Here's a press. Nobody guarding Danny Ferry, who's throwing the ball in bounds, so there you have a safety man, who was Walker, normally would be Ferry's man, obviously open there to play a little center field, make the interception.
Duke leads it, but it has not been easy on the inside here so far. That time, they were a little too tough defensively, and for Walker, his 2nd personal foul. Gaze playing with 1, Ramos with 1, Morton picked up 2 quick ones, Green with 1, Volsey and Cooper 1 apiece. So PJ Carlesimo having some difficulty here with fouls, and that could mount up to big trouble in the second half.
Unfortunately for PJ, he is very deep at that position in terms of size. Same way in the case of Mike Krzyzewski on the other end. Abdelnaby sitting down with 3, but he's got some depth there.
PJ is one of 10 children, Billy. And I said, how many brothers and sisters are there? He said, hey, friend, it's 6 and counting. I'm not sure how many are going to be in the stand. Green bringing it down on the inside against the taller Blue Devils. But Walker, a great offensive rebounder, could not put it away. Henderson across midcourt against that Pirate pressure. It's 27-13.
Boy, Duke really looking to pound that thing down insides with these overplays in the low post.
Laettner will send it back to Snyder. Snyder tries to set up his taller teammates. They force another turnover. Here comes Green. Gaze is on his right. He'll pull up with a jump shot. And now Seton Hall starting to loosen up.
What Danny Ferry is going to realize is that the weak side defense is going to eliminate that pass he's trying to throw, but he will be able to throw outside for a jumper.
No, that could be Morton's third personal foul, and it is. That is a big one.
Brent, hard to believe. Morton,
Think back to last Sunday when Georgetown scrambled back in that short period. It was that helter-skelter defense, that full-court pressure with Snyder now sitting down also, and Morton out because of 3 fouls. But you remember how the helter-skelter got the Hoyas back? The Blue Devils had some difficulty with it. So if Seton Hall is to get back in this one before the intermission, they've got 7 minutes. It's 28-15. They will need some turnovers.
well, the way you get them is you got to score in the offensive end so you can set up your press. That's been their problem so far. They
Cooper
can't score.
wasn't even looking, but Gaze comes over and gets the errant pass.
Good pass.
And it's Walker coming up on Laettner, who is there, and the foul is against Laettner, his second.
Looked like a pretty good defensive play by Laettner. Had his hands straight up in the air. Mike Krzyzewski complaining about it a little bit as well. That defender does have that position he can establish. Half ends, if he can find somebody, can drill one from the perimeter.
It's number 52 right there.
Seton Hall, an excellent free throw shooting team, a little over 75%. He's going to give up something on the defensive end, though, with Gitsikis.
And they are perfect today, 7 of 7 against Blue Devils.
Oh, Danny Ferry almost turned it over, looking to pass to Smith, who turned his head. Again, a double low stack by Duke.
Ramos half-fronting Laettner on the inside. They couldn't punch it in. Ferry moves his game all around the perimeter, takes it down with the blocks, comes up with a jump shot. Buries it. He scored 17 points here in the first half. Duke leading at 31-17. So just when it appeared like the Hall might pull back into it, Duke extends its lead, and Gaze continues to miss outside. He is now 0 for 5 from the game.
And Laettner again with another strong rebound.
They turn it over on a sloppy pass.
But what really happened there, too, is that Walker was playing such great defense on Ferry. Ferry couldn't get in position to make the catch.
For Seton Hall, number 32.
Walker is slim from the waist down, but he's got a good upper body, and he must have a lot more strength, and he must be very wiry there because he moved Danny Ferry on that play.
Avent replaced Ramos. Green comes down on the inside. He scored 6.
Nobody's handled Green yet with his speed.
Here's Laettner. Chance for a three-pointer. The young man who plays with a great deal of enthusiasm and emotion.
You're going to see just great play here now. Avent gets caught up too high. Laettner gives the perfect target by holding that hand up high above his head. The pass right on the money. Very difficult to stop. We say, is Laettner for real? At one of our tips before the game. We're going to put an exclamation point on that one.
Lonzo Mourning would say he's for real.
Lonzo's a fan. Snyder back in there now, but not on Green. He's got a better assignment with Gaze, not quite as quick.
Walker gets Ferry in the air, and he has scored 8. Well, they're going to need some points from Andrew Gaze. Still looking to get here in the scoring column for Seton Hall in the first half. Kubek trying to get around Gaze. Now pulls up the jump shot. Knocked away from Katsikas. Henderson up over the back with his first personal foul. And they're in the 1-and-1. So Seton Hall will come down here and shoot a couple of free throws against Krzyzewski.
Well, coming up next.
Mike Krzyzewski being to the Final Four 3 times. Here's that Michigan. Here's your band.
My guys have arrived.
They're going to send you a Christmas present, Brent. You're the guy that got him here. Way off the iron. But we talked about Mike Krzyzewski before bringing a team to the Final Four. You know, Bill Foster brought Duke to the Final Four, and then Vic Bubas on 3 occasions with great clubs came to the Final Four.
Henderson loses it and gets it back.
Henderson's got Gaze on him. I believe he can beat him one-on-one.
Kubek lost the handle. Green's got it. And quickly Henderson is there, and he lets Green go for his 4th hoop of the first half.
Seems that every time they get in trouble, it gets in Ferry's hands.
Such a great passer for a big man. Always finds the open teammate. Snyder glides in, missing, and there was Ferry on the other side of the glass, but it is Snyder who gets it back. Throws it up.
Play.
Snyder on the floor. It's Seton Hall's ball. So he paid a price for going in there.
He sure did. He threw that up, got fouled, and laid on the floor. No call.
Smith returning. Laettner.
Big basket right here for Seton Hall, Brent. Get that thing down inside 10 points. Be a good comeback on their part.
Walker staying with it, and he is fouled. And now that's Laettner's 3rd personal foul. Abdel Nabi with 3rd. So there are some of those numbers starting to mount up against Duke, which would indicate that this one is a long way from over. When the big fellas down on the inside get into foul trouble, 34-23 is not much of a lead.
Brent, you know something else that's very apparent? With Bricky out of the lineup, Duke does not have another finisher on the offensive end to score. And it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing him, certainly not in the rest of this half. He still has that ice pack on. Duke has not been able to get that other guy to help Danny Ferry score any points.
When you've got senior leadership like Seton Hall has, and you can shoot free throws as well as they do, and you play half-court defense, that gives you a great opportunity to come back. And they have not missed a free throw here yet today. Now they go to that pressure against Duke, and they quickly call it off as Snyder brings it up. It's 34-25, time remaining in the first half. The crowd senses that there's still a long way to go. When the big man comes up and he's fouled by Walker, and that is 3 on Walker against Ferry.
Battle of attrition here with fouls. You know, you mentioned Walker in the great free throw shooting. As a freshman, he made 31 straight. He broke that record this year by hitting 32 straight. So an excellent free throw shooter, but now he's going to sit, and that's really going to hurt PJ because not only has he been doing a job on the offensive end, he's a very gifted low post defender.
Still looking for his first field goal. He has hit a couple of free throws. Now they switch off, giving them still a different look on defense. Up over the zone from the corner, and 3-pointer by Green. It's 11 for the game. It's 36-28. The Hall is back in it.
As a set play that time, using Ramos for Green to hide behind.
Ferry in low, goes to work. Short on the turnaround. Gaze with the rebound. Lead now to Green with that speed. Snyder awaits him. Green penetrates on the inside. They'll use Katsikas left-handed. He buries it. The 3-point shot. Now it'll be a timeout
So Seton Hall right back in it, cutting the lead to 5 points. But Duke lead by 8 and have Robert Brickey back in the lineup as we join the second half.
Walker steps inside of Abdelnaby that time, who did not want to reach in and risk his 5th personal, and it's 12 points for Walker. One of those underrated guys down on the inside who can do a lot of the little things, a lot of the dirty work. Snyder hoists a 3 off into Green's hands, and Snyder is called for the foul, his 3rd. Krzyzewski can't believe it.
Snyder still without a field goal. A lot of pressure on this young man coming back home to play here. He's the native of the Seattle area. And just not getting it going offensively.
Duke has led it all the way, but things are not going their way. Morton missing, but Gaze was there.
Perfect pass.
And now Brickey is back down on the court again.
Brent, he's not going to be able to make it. It's a big blow for Duke University because they lose a guy who is a potential finisher on the break. And now the scoring has to come from Henderson to help Danny Ferry.
Ramos working away on Ferry on the inside. Denied the pass. John Smith will try it from the perimeter. He is short. Rebound by Seton Hall. Michael Cooper yanked it away.
You can sense Seton Hall starting to pick up a lot of confidence in this run right now. They have not had the lead the entire game, but you sense they see that Duke is struggling offensively. And if you're Seton Hall, they should be helping out even more on Danny Ferry now, because you know that he's going to try to take it over.
Walker. Duke has hit only 1 of its last 6 shots. Henderson. Cooper is there. The Hall can tie or take the lead. Batted back, Duke's ball. Lead Ferry. 26.
But Brent, you notice that their baskets are not coming within their offense.
Inside again, put it down.
And Seton Hall's baskets are.
Smith's first personal foul.
Clay Buckley into the ball game now for Duke. Is foulable with fouls.
Buckley is 6'10", the sophomore out of Wayne, Pennsylvania.
One shot.
Hitting the free throw, and it's a 1-point lead. A 13-4 run over the last 3.5 minutes by Seton Hall. They trail it by a point and applying the pressure. Snyder, who still is looking for his first point in this game, bringing the ball up now for the Blue Devils, who have Ferry, Kubek, Buckley, and Henderson, number 3. They apparently have lost Brickey for perhaps the rest of the afternoon after suffering that leg injury in the first half. He tried here in the second half and couldn't go. Seton Hall digging back in. Henderson squeezing the trigger. And now the Hall can take the lead. Green on the bounce pass to Cooper. And it goes over.
Brent, you can see that Seton Hall has taken Duke out of their offense completely.
The basket counts. Seton Hall leads. Foul against Seton Hall. It's 50-49.
Well, they battled back 19 points from being down by 18 at one point. Here's the fast break coming out. Good job by Cooper taking it right to the hoop. Kubek's waiting for him. One of the things Duke could do right here against this particular press is let somebody other than Danny Ferry take the ball out of bounds so that he could be the recipient of the pass by throwing over the head of a guy like Green, who's much smaller.
The first lead by Seton Hall in the game. Ferry can't get it back. Ramos yanks it away, and he is fouled by Buckley.
As much as Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want to do it this early, I think he's got to come back with Christian Laettner to get himself another score in the game. Buckley not going to score. Kubek not going to score. Snyder hasn't shown that he can, and Henderson having the cold hand. Great comeback by Seton Hall.
In below to Ramos.
Travel!
And he turned it over.
Ramos can't believe it because he's normally pretty steady on the inside. But here's an example. See, Danny Ferry's taking the ball out of bounds. They could throw over it.
Bounce pass by Snyder is a beauty, and Henderson finishes. 13 for the game with Laettner watching. Duke leading now 51-50. 13-20 in regulation. Punch in. Ferry tries to save it. Throws deep, and Ramos off his hand. And they give it up. Quinn Snyder scores off the turnover.
Boy, Danny Ferry made the great play by throwing it towards his end of the court, therefore not giving Seton Hall a chance to capitalize.
Ramos wants it low. Ferry to help out, stayed with it defensively. Walker's got it back, cleans up. That's his strength. Marvelous offensive rebounder.
Gaze is not getting enough credit for his defense in this game. He's shutting Henderson down pretty well.
Gaze without a lot of speed. Great position defender. Ferry will get this one to fall. That's 28 points for Ferry. With Mickey Krzyzewski watching the Duke Blue Devils here from the King Dome this afternoon. Gaze hoists a three from down under.
Henderson tried to help out. Gaze too dangerous a shooter to allow to go inside. You turn your back and he'll drill it.
Duke 55, Seton Hall 55. Here's Snyder. His three still not there. And there's a push on the inside against Duke. Henderson's second.
Another thing I've noticed the last time or two down the floor, Danny Ferry very, very tired. He has not come out of this game yet. You can see him going over on the sidelines. He needs a blow.
Laettner and John Smith return to the lineup.
Laettner and Smith both check back in. Avent back for Seton Hall. Cooper is on the floor. France Volsey, number 30. Also there, great pass to Avent.
That screen beautifully set by Gaze.
Seton Hall leading it by 2. They punch to Ferry, and great defense on the inside. Gaze off the spin, gets it to Avent again. It's a 4-point lead by the Pirates.
And here you can see Volsey, who is very rested, playing Danny Ferry, giving him all kinds of trouble.
Laettner. Back to 2. Inside to Cooper. (61-57). Seton Hall leading Duke. Ferry's outside. Henderson short. Gaze was there again defensively. Green tries to save it, stepped out of bounds.
But a brilliant play by Green, though. If he throws the ball back in, he knew that there's a chance Duke could get it right under their own basket. Better off taking it out with him.
PJ Carlesimo's team on a tear. Seton Hall has hit 12 of its last 14 shots, and Snyder got it up high on the glass and couldn't get it to fall. Drawing the foul this time. That's Volsey's second.
Foul is charged to number 30, Franz Volsey, his second, team's third.
Snyder had his second opportunity. He had to put back a relatively easy one. Didn't hit either.
Ferry's 3 off to the side. Seton Hall comes back.
Duke completely out of their offensive pattern right now, trying to do it all one-on-one.
Now they're down by 6. We've got a timeout called by the Blue Devils. Ten minutes remaining, and Krzyzewski is down to only one timeout. Carlissimo with 2. Fouls to give. Seton Hall with 4. Duke only 1. In case of a held ball, it'll go over to the Blue Devils. This half, Duke is shooting 41%, and Seton Hall has elevated its game. 78% the Pirates are shooting here against the Blue Devils. And the struggle continues. They get it in, or at least try, and Ferry forced out to the perimeter. Nothing working down on the inside. Now they hit Laettner. He goes hard and drew the foul.
This is a good move by Mike Krzyzewski. He's got to figure out that second score. It may be Laettner because he hasn't been able to get it on the perimeter. And what also will help by going to Laettner is it keeps that weak side defender from double teaming Danny Ferry. But you gotta like PJ's situation right now because he's being able to rest both Morton and Walker on the sidelines.
Watching from the sideline, several of the Michigan Wolverines. They'll be out here next against Illinois. Walker returning. He's played a solid game here this afternoon. And sitting down with the 3 fouls, Volsey.
Nice piece of substitution by PJ Carlissimo. All he needs is a couple of minutes out of those subs. He's much more rested with his key people than is Duke.
63-59. Walker takes Duke down in low, and then the tap back. And that was Aben again.
Number 32, Anthony Aben.
Good help by Cooper on Ferry.
Davis, Kubek at the perimeter, in low to Laettner, and the freshman starting to pick up the load. That's 13 points. It's a 4-point lead by Seton Hall. 9.5 minutes to go in regulation. Green continues on in. Laettner was there, and he is fouled out of the game.
Oh,
I thought he had the ball.
Yeah, right on top of it. And this really causes problems for Mike Krzyzewski because just when he was getting the secondary score, he loses him on fouls. Watch this play right here. I thought he had all ball on this one. All ball. And Christian Laettner felt likewise.
Smith
Number 33, John
off
Smith.
the Duke bench. Now they have 4 perimeter players and Ferry on the floor.
For Seton Hall, Gerald Green shooting 2.
Green has been the one man that's been the difference as far as getting Seton Hall back into their offense. Even when they were behind, he stayed with it.
Well, he was one of the big differences in PJ's recruiting, too, in that Riverside Church League, which has about 15 or 16 graduates now playing in the NBA. When he was able to convince this young man to come to Seton Hall, and then he was able to get Morton and Walker to join him. And he had coached down in Puerto Rico. He knew about Ramos. Gaze had lit up the Big East All-Star team, so he was able to recruit him for a year. Now it's Snyder hoisting a 3 in and out. Walker with the rebound, and Seton Hall is solidly in command of this game. It is 67-61, and you can feel it.
Snyder without a field goal.
Gaze down under again.
Well, he can shoot that 3-pointer without his legs being in good position, which is hard to do. Duke really panicked right now. You can see it in their eyes.
Snyder again, and this time he finds the range from 3-point land. 5 points total, all 5 in the second half, keeping Duke within 6 points. It'll be Gaze again.
Oh!
Well, they don't have Larry Bird in Australia, but Gaze will do down there, won't he?
Remember a name like Oscar, Brent? That's what those guys can do from the outside, but get that 3-point swing going.
Avent fouling Ferry. Avent's first.
Gaze has done the job all year long from the outside as a perimeter shooter, but today I think he's done a great job defensively as well.
Bricky will try it again. Injured his leg early in the game. Stayed in, was forced out, finished half on the bench as Ramos checks back in for Seton Hall. Green is also out, along with Avent.
Again, pulling all the right buttons is P.J. Carlesimo. He takes Green out of the game at a time when if he can get 3 minutes out of Pookie Wigington, it allows Green to come back fresh for the stretch run.
All 5-4 of Pookie Wigington bringing the ball up now. He was some player in the JC League in California. He's had some problems with a knee. Gets it back from Ramos. Snyder not so used to looking down. It's defensive.
I think that Ramos can score on John Smith on the inside.
Smith trying to stay with it. Ramos and Wigington are there defensively. Smith waits for help. And they hit Henderson on a flash. And Gaze was there, off into Wigington's hands. 73-65. Seton Hall, 7.5 minutes left in regulation.
Gaze just doing the job on Henderson. Henderson cannot get off the shot down inside. Even though he's an outstanding leaper, Gaze's timing has been perfect on the defensive end.
Snyder is called for the moving foul, his fourth.
Now there's a case where you know Wigington is not going to be a threat to score that far out. Quinn Snyder just has to play him solid. No reason to try to draw the charge out there.
Number 22, Greg Kuban, replaces Quinn Snyder.
A good team for Seton Hall to press right now with Snyder out of the game. Smallest player in Division I basketball is Wigington.
On the floor for the Blue Devils. Bricky, Henderson, Ferry, Smith, and Kubek. Cooper gets it back into Wigington's hands.
Gaze was ready, wasn't he?
He sure was. He was thinking about it.
Illegal screen on Cooper.
His third personal.
Foul is charged to number 31, Michael Cooper, his third personal foul, team's sixth.
(73-65). Seton Hall leading.
Now Henderson has a much smaller man on him. See if he tries to go over Wigington.
Smith on the inside. It's blocked. Out of bounds, Duke ball.
I think Duke would be smart to get Henderson down in low with Wigington. He can shoot over him.
Henderson 4 of 15 here this afternoon.
Not going to have a chance because here comes Green in. P.J. Carlesimo right on top of that move.
Kubek.
Got hit on the arm. No call.
Seton Hall's ball.
Special setup play now. High double poach. You notice Seton Hall is bringing their offense out a little higher.
And the foul against Henderson.
This is not a delay game, but it brings the defense out higher, and you're going to get some backdoor cuts from Seton Hall right now.
Quinn Snyder, number 14, returns to the lineup, replacing Greg
Snyder returns, and Kubek sits down.
Brent, we talked about Duke being to the Final Four 7 times. First time they were there was 64. Went up against John Wooden in 64 when Wooden won his first national championship, and it followed it was 63, 64, 66, 78, 86, 88, and 89. They could be the bridesmaid of all time. And a good free throw shooting team is Seton Hall.
Gaze Gaze sits down to a round of applause.
Well, the MVP of the West Regional had an outstanding game today, and give him some accolades for the defensive work he did on Henderson.
Seton Hall is now 14 of 16 from that free throw line.
You get a situation where the clock is now becoming Duke's opponent, where they've got to be thinking three.
Ferry.
There's a push by Smith, not called.
Seton Hall getting another break.
Danny Ferry will not be able to post up down low and get those moves because Seton Hall is bringing people from the weak side over to stop that play.
They have had a 28-point swing in this game, from 18 down to 10 up by Seton Hall. One of the more impressive comebacks in the history of the Final Four. Where you look like you're dead in the water. Seton Hall pulled themselves together and has made a remarkable run in this game.
Well, I think the key was Bricky going down. Duke was then without a scorer, and the only way they stayed in the game was a sensational first half by Ferry. Good spacing now by Seton Hall, bringing that offense out higher. They're going to get an easy one. There it is.
Almost right there.
What's happening is Duke trying to overplay, and there's a lot of space underneath the basket.
Snyder's three.
2 in a row for Quinn Snyder.
Kind of firepower they're going to need. It's 77-68. Just inside of 5.5 minutes to work with. Gaze
nice
to return
move.
soon as Morton got it inside to Ramos again, and he'll stay with it.
Ricky showing a lot of courage playing out here on that one leg, but just nowhere near the quick Ricky we know of.
Knocked away. They've stripped it.
And again, weak side defense, that offensive maneuver is not going to be there.
Ferry jumping out, commits the personal, his second.
Foul is charged to number 35, Danny Ferry, his second personal foul. For Duke, number 22, Greg Kubek. Number 30,
Gaze's father is the John Wooden of Australia. Is the gentleman there with the gray hair on the right. His name is Lindsay Gaze. He coaches a team down in Australia, and it's a team without a star. And that's his son. He badly wants this season to end so he can get his son back home down under. This has been a tremendous learning experience for Andrew Gaze. He was talking about it yesterday, given an opportunity to play 1 year in the United States.
And Brent, being 24 years of age, I don't even think Seton Hall will be applying for him to go ahead and get that other year. He still would have the opportunity to apply for another year of eligibility, but it looks like he is going to go back to Australia and continue to play for their national team.
You folks down in Australia should know that his nickname is Jacks, as in Hungry Jacks. For those of you in the U.S., that's the McDonald's of Australia. Here's Ferry gliding in, missing, rebound, Ramos. And Duke battles to save it, but they have stepped out of bounds at the end line. I believe that's Davis who went flying in there. Yes, it is.
With this lead, TJ's going to want to start using that clock just a little bit.
Does it sound funny to anybody else to say Seton Hall is going to play for a national championship? What a tremendous story this is. And they're now within 4 minutes and 25 seconds of moving to Monday night. And they did it the old-fashioned way here this afternoon. Nothing but hard work. There wasn't anything easy about what this team has accomplished here today. Morton.
Certainly nothing easy as Seton Hall come from an 18-point deficit to win finally by 95-78, a 17-point margin and a 35-point turnaround. The crowd here in the Kingdome is now settling down to see who they meet as Illinois take on Michigan. But you'll have to join us next week to see the outcome of that one. So the team that has been described as the best thing to come out of New Jersey since Bruce Springsteen goes into the national finals. With an Australian and a Puerto Rican in the team, Seton Hall can't claim to be born in the USA, but they were certainly born to run.